Okay.
Soul rest in peace. Kabir, Dagbe Makir, Uwatapi, Gujata. Yes, soul continue rest in peace. Legend. Atam Yanu, Dalama. And the Querlu never queen bun, and the Querlu never queen bun. Kachiunya Lelawangba, Chiunya Lelawangba, and the Querlu never queen bun, and the Querlu never queen bun. Kachiunya Lelawangba, Chiunya Lelawangba. Ayinin ang gamuk juara gol, ayinin manjamuk juara gol. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko, enya na bana. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko, enya na ma. Wede manya jagamo, wede unya chapingan, wede manya jagamo, kachiunya lelawangba, chiunya lelawangba. Kachiunya lelawangba, kachiunya lelawangba. Kachiunya lelawangba, and the Querlu never queen bun, and the Querlu never queen bun. Kachiunya lelawangba, chiunya lelawangba, and the Querlu never queen bun, and the Querlu never queen bun. Kachiunya lelawangba, chiunya lelawangba. Ayinin ang gamuk juara gol, ayinin manjamuk juara gol. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko, enya na bana. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko, enya na ma. Wede manya jagamo, wede unya chapingan, wede manya jagamo, kachiunya lelawangba, chiunya lelawangba. Kachiunya lelawangba,
turn off your microphone, please, and go down to the audience. Turn off your microphone. All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you tune in, all over the world. This is Concerned Citizen of South Sudan. We are live. It is Friday, 22nd, 2024. Tonight, as you can see below the screen, Salva Kir Mayardiit continues his political deception to remain in power, of course. That's why all this political dilemma that he has been doing is just to remain in power until the end of his life, as Kuala Manyang has put it not too long ago, that Mr. Chairman, now you can rule to the end of your life, despite the fact that people of South Sudan are suffering from hunger, from diseases, from insecurity, from all sort of political turmoil that they have created it in the country. Hopefully you guys can hear me. If you guys can hear me, please let me know in Clubhouse there, because 2 days ago we have some issues and I was not able, to record that. So if you hear me, can you just do a thumb up so I can be aware that people in Clubhouse, they are hearing me? Or if it's not working, and then I can continue here in the Facebook, but I want to make sure, people are hearing me in the Clubhouse. Right? Samuel, can you please, one more time, put a thumb up there before I continue with the program here? Your thumb up if you hear me. If you don't hear me, let me know. Okay? Everybody's silent? No one is saying anything? I have no idea what's going on. Can you please, Nazar for Clubhouse, do you hear me? You don't hear me? That's interesting. Maybe they are not hearing what I'm saying, right? Do you hear me, Brother John? Do you hear me? No one is hearing me, right? Mano, do you hear me? Do you hear me? Please, if you hear me, can you say yes, I hear you? Tasmaoni, في Clubhouse. ولا ما بتسمعوا؟ ناس Clubhouse بتسمعوا ولا ما بتسمعوني؟ That's interesting. Okay, if nobody's hearing me, and then there is no point, to keep the Clubhouse on. Maybe I may turn the Clubhouse off, and then I will continue here on Facebook. Good week, do you hear me? No sign of all of somebody's hearing me. I have no idea what's going on with them. Kamis, do you hear me? Kamis بتسمعني? Okay, yes, more. Feel like there's something wrong. Okay, anyway, just let's get the Clubhouse out at this moment, and let's continue here on Facebook. One more time, thank you so much for joining me, and I want you to go ahead and share this live broadcast, please. I'm a little share في جروبات, I'm a little share Patriot concerned citizen, Matograb, wherever you are, go ahead and share this live broadcast. لأنه مواضيع مهمة جدا اللي نتكلم فيه. أنا حبيت إنه يكون في كلاب هاوس ويكون here at the same time عشان نزل في كلاب هاوس كمان يقدر يستفيدوا. لكن unfortunately ما في زول قاعد يقول لك يسمع. أنا ما قادر أفهم هم سامعين ولا ما سامعين. That's why I must continue here on Facebook. So I welcome all of you, and please go ahead and share this live broadcast, because it seems like a lot of people are not getting our notification. Is not getting to our people. But that's why I'm asking you. You are here now, watching here, to share it. So those who are not watching, they can get notification to join us and watch this very important, discussion today. As I said, نحن هنتكلم عن أوضاع الراهنة في البلد. This crisis, political turmoil that is happening in our country. You all know that what happened recently. President Kir start, promoting his special envoys and the deputy of the SPLM, party, Bolmel. He start promoting him to a rank of alternate general. And of course, most of you are aware that Bolmel is the managing director of Kir, businesses, the ARC, and businesses that owned by his daughter. So Bolmel is not just only close, to the family, but is tied to the family, is more protecting the business of President Salva Kiir. So many people are wondering what's going on, why all of a sudden he's getting this promotion. Last year, he made him a special envoy, and now is promoting him to that rank. And so many people are speculating that, saying that, oh, is he going to hand the power over to Mr. Bolmel? And the deployment of the armed forces from Uganda to South Sudan also. All these things are indication something new is going to happen. Of course, something new is going to happen, because President Kiir has been deceiving people of South Sudan for a very long time. And this is how he has been ruling the country. One time will sign peace agreement, the other time will come up with bribing the National Legislative Assembly members. One time will come up with some, and just to calm down, the population and people of South Sudan. They have been patient for a very long time. They are generous people, actually. They are very, very patient. And President Kiir actually took advantage of them. He numbed them, actually. He numbed them. And he tried all sort of, tests on them. And people of South Sudan are not acting, are not deposing him, are not doing anything. He used excessive forces, dividing them along the clans, along the ethnic, along the region. He created communal violence in Bahr Ghazal, in Equatoria, in Upper Nile, all sort of. You all aware of this. This is not a makeup. This is something that in reality, this is something that in the ground happening. President Kiir has exercised all sort of, power. He has done whatsoever to see what people are going to do. But people of South Sudan, because of their patience, President Kiir has got away with a lot of things. It's like, Gisabta Samagal Grish. If you guys knows that, the fish, I don't know Samagal Grish in English, actually. That's the name that I know. Is a Nile fish. And that fish actually is huge. It's even has its size is bigger. It's bigger than a crocodile, Nile crocodile. And this story, one day, this fish, this huge fish, a crocodile used to run away from him, because it's all about size. The animals, when you see your size is big, no other animal will mess up with you, except lions. But a lion still can stay away sometimes when he see elephant, because the elephant can just wrap him, beat him with the ground. So this fish actually, this huge fish of the Nile, crocodiles used to run away from. When they see that fish, he would go away. But one day, this fish, sarcastically, which is not supposed to happen, he asked the crocodile, "Why are you running away from me?" And the crocodile said that, "Because you are huge, man. You can crush me." And he got closer to the crocodile and told him, "You know what? I don't have teeth. Just touch my mouth." And the crocodile started touching, the fish mouth. And he find out actually that fish does not have any teeth to bite. From that date, A crocodile knew, oh, well, why I've been running, this is actually a meal. And he started attacking that fish, and it became, target. And from that day, a crocodile become predators of that fish, that huge fish on the Nile. So why I'm saying this history story is because what President Kiir has done. Because people of South Sudan have been so calm, they have been so generous, they have been so patient, despite the fact that actually they have been denied. President Kiir has denied them their own salaries, what they deserve. Whether you are in SSPDF or civil servant, medical doctors, lawyers and judges, you don't get your money. And he has started this thing in 2012, and they start delaying. And when people are not, they complain, but that's not the complaint that they supposed to go to the street and demand their right, because that's their right. You cannot live without your salary because you are working. There is no point that you can just survive without your salary. President Kiir is testing them, and that's why I'm telling you the story of this fish, the one that a crocodile used to fear of. But unfortunately, because the fish has shown to the crocodile that actually is unable to do anything, so it's not supposed to show the strength, his weakness. But now President Kiir has tested people of South Sudan, and he already seen that these people are weak. These citizens are weak. They are not going to do anything. No matter what I do, I will sell oil in advance. I will deposit this money to my bank account and my family's accounts and my cohorts, the one that's sharing the kleptocracy in J1, and nothing is going to happen. He created communal violence, and nothing has happened. He created war, and nothing has happened. They denied developmental project in the country, and nothing has happened. Because we have been talking about this. The oil money is supposed to be diversifying the economy, using the agriculture, okay? So we can produce food locally. So we have a local product. We can local factories. We can local farm. We can have this. Our local farm can be empowered. They can be empowered, and no one is going to be needing. People are going to be really stronger, because now if they're producing locally, you will buy with pounds. You are not going to use a dollar. And now dollar become a problematic for the nation, because President Kiir didn't want this. President Kiir want people of South Sudan to be oppressed, to be suffering, because if you are more suffering, if you are more oppressed, you are not going to be thinking about the power. You hear me? You are not going to be thinking about power. You are not going to be thinking about anything else. You are going to be thinking always about your well-being, the security, and all these things. Because this is how we have been governing the country. I said this in numerous times, but I will keep continuing to say it, because this is the tactic that President Kiir actually have taken for a very long time. So no developmental project, no road, no schools, no hospitals, because they know they are with the money. The one that is ruling, they are with the money. If their spouses, if he is getting sick, and then he will go to Nairobi, will fly his wife to Nairobi, will fly to South Africa, will fly to Germany, will fly to India, will fly to all this thing and get medical treatment. But you, Antum, you remain there. Simple thing, it can kill citizen. So this is how he has been governing our country. This is how he has been ruling this country. Okay, so President Kiir has tested people of South Sudan, and he has seen that they are not threat. He has seen that he's getting away with a lot. And so, because he knows that he's getting away, that's why he started doing more and more and more. So now, the ideas of the deployment of Uganda armed forces coming to South Sudan, because Kiir actually knew these people of South Sudan, SSPDF, civil servant, whoever, all the nations, one day they will erupt like a volcano, because he has done worse and worse. He has exercised all sort of corruption on them, in this country. So he fear that when they are, erupting like a volcano, it will be very, very difficult. Plus, Kiir has opponent within kleptocracy, because everybody start building themselves. Kolkor building themselves, and others are building themselves too. Now, if something happened, and then the others, they have become threat to him. And if others become threat to him, that's why he's looking for an alternative. Because SSPDF, of course, they are not receiving their salaries. They are so discontent. They are not happy with what happening in the country. It's just because they are generous, they are very good people, because they fought for this country, and they see there is no point, putting this country to war and a problem. They see that there is no reason, creating chaos. So Kir knows, he knows that actually as SPDF, he cannot trust them because he destroyed, SSPDF. He did not want to bring a stronger army. He didn't want to bring the SSPDF as a strong institution. He created his own militia, his own protector, like, when he come up with Dutkubenyo and Presidential Guard and so forth. So these can be loyal to him. But now his biggest fear, these guys are not receiving salary because he's the one that's doing this. And he's always blaming it on ministers. And ministers, they have no power because all the money of the oil have been divided within J1. The money don't go to Central Bank of South Sudan. So President Kir now is deploying the Uganda army to protect him. Imagine, to protect him to remain in power, because that's the main goal for him. He wants to rule until he died. And look, he have used Paul Malonga for a very long time, and he threw it on the bus. He has used so many, he threw it on the bus. Now his brother-in-law, he's the deputy director of national security, but Akolkor, the director of national security, is more powerful, and he see that it become more danger to him. That's why if he wanted to make some changes, which is potentially changes may happen, he feared that if we remove Akolkor, or if we wanted to make some changes, because as I said, there is more antagonistic people within the system, within this kleptocracy regime right now. A lot of people, they are not happy even within, زي ما بقولوا بالعربي إذا اختلف اللصوص ظهر المسروق. When the thief have a dispute, and then you will be able to find out the thing that are missing, this is what is going to happen. So he's fearing that if we make any move now, to dissolve the government or to remove a Kolkor and others, reshuffle that he's going to do, because he has been doing this for quite some time, just to calm down others and to deceive people. That's why I put my topic there, deception, because they have been deceiving people of South Sudan. He will come up with this, and people don't act, and then we'll come up with this, and that one will have a time and then come up with other thing. That's why the deployment of Uganda armed forces, so for his own protection, to protect his presidency, because people of South Sudan are likely to say no. SSPDF is likely to say no. Enough is enough, and no one would be happy with that. And that's why the deployment of Uganda armed forces, and that's why he promoted also Bolmel, because Bolmel became a right man for him. It's not because he wants Bolmel to be president. No. Salva Kir Mayardiit will not allow anyone to be president as long as he is still alive. No. Take this from me. It will not allow somebody else to succeed him as long as he's alive. Why? Because it doesn't trust anyone. He has done so poorly. He has done a lot of bad to the people of South Sudan. So if anyone took over, or if he handed power over to anyone, he's going to be like Pervez Musharraf of Pakistan. You remember when he got consultation, within his own political party, when they told him, you know what, you can end the power over. He was a bad-ass dictator, when he ended up the power, and he was promised that actually we are going to, protect you, nothing is going to happen to you. But later he ended up in jail, he ended up in prison. This is what President Kir is fearing, because he involved in corruption, he killed a lot of people, he created communal violence. He has done all sort of a destruction in the country. He's fearful about this. That's why he refused to implement peace agreement. He refused. Even the code, hygiene code, and all this hybrid code and all this, he rejected it. You remember when he was interviewed by Jeff Konenge of Kenya, Kenya TV, when he asked him that question about the hybrid code, the code of hygiene, and he said, you know what? The hybrid code is not a solution. Why hybrid code is not a solution? It is in there on this on the peace agreement that actually justice will heal people of South Sudan. Those who are committed crime, they may be brought to justice. But President Kir did not want that, because he's the one of the people. He's the one that ordered the army to do what he was doing. He's the one that came up with an idea that there was a military coup, and there was no military coup whatsoever, right? So he refused the hybrid code. And he did not want to implement peace agreement, because any implementation of peace agreement, that means stability. That means stability of the people of South Sudan. At the end of that peace agreement, actually, it will result on election. An election supposed to take place. But unfortunately, right now, he deviated, from the real. Did not want to implement peace agreement. He become more selective. And now he's talking about how he want to do executive election. It's something that I have never heard, anywhere. National Legislative Assembly or the parliament are the real presenting people. And the president, the executive, is the one that execute, the policies. That's what we know of. But because he knows, there will be some distraction to him, he wanted to rule this country without anyone else. That's why he wanted to make it legit to himself, calling it he wanted to do executive election. I never heard of something like that before. Want to do executive with the governors. These are the ones that can go for election, and no election for legislator. Have you ever heard something like that? And a country with no permanent constitution. Anyhow, he did not want to implement peace agreement. He didn't want to, because President Kiir, he wanted to rule to the end of his life. And actually, the RGM Act, the monetary of the peace agreement, especially the Charles Tay, actually wrote an article, a couple of days ago, and addresses the South Sudan president and addresses the IGAD, because they were monitoring, the peace agreement to be implemented. And he pointed out a lot that actually this peace agreement has not been implemented, and thing that's supposed to take place even before an election, because the election cannot take place. You did not do census in the country. You did not, write permanent constitution. There was no agreement whatsoever. The political council did not have any agreement whatsoever, right? And also the code of hygiene did not take place, and there was no compensation, to those affected by the war of 2013. And a list goes on and on and on and on and on and on, my dear brothers and sisters. I read this, and he recommended to the presidency and the peace partners that actually the only thing that you need to do, you need to have a dialogue. You need to have a dialogue so you can figure it out how the election can take place, because there is no way you can take election at this. You don't have enough time. All necessarily prerequisite for an election that need to be done. You did not do it, so there is no way you can conduct an election unless you have to do a dialogue with peace partner, IO, SAWA, whatever, political party who are in that, the government of so-called the government of national unity. This is the last thing that actually the RGM Act, Charles Tay has already proposed on his article. But guess what? They always rush to conclusion, because again, President Kiir and those, around him, they want to make him as what they call, they want to make him legit. And so bad they wanted to make him legit. Now they went ahead and say, okay, we can dialogue. And I heard from the SPLMIO actually said there is no way whatsoever, to conduct election. We did not agree. A lot of things, peace agreement has not been implemented. So many things have not been implemented. How are we going to go for an election? And there is no political space in the country. And RGMAC actually, a special representative who wrote the article said that there's no political space in the country. The only person that is campaigning is President Salva Kiir. Even President Salva Kiir himself, he banned, members of his own political party to declare their candidacy. Do you remember back then when he said that no one can declare their candidacy, except him? So there is no political space for other political parties. You cannot do a rally. Riek Machar, the peace partner, the one that's supposed to be rival on the election, he's not campaigning. He's detained actually in Juba. He cannot travel to Wow, cannot go to Malakal. Even Oleng, the one that recently came to Juba, he cannot travel anywhere. They cannot go anywhere. So there's nothing whatsoever. President Kiir wants to do this in his own way so he can remain in power. That's what it is. And The disgrace thing, as I said, we knew about this for a very long time. The disgrace thing right now is that is bringing the troop from Uganda. That actually a huge insult to SSPDF. That's a huge insult to South Sudan Army. Huge insult to those who fought for our freedom. That's an insult, actually. As I said from the beginning, President Kiir actually moving toward like he wanted to become monarchy. He wanted to make this country like a monarch, you know. It's so bad. It's so bad. And that's why I keep asking this question. What happened? What happened to our people? What happened to you? What happened to SSPDF? You fought for justice, liberty, and prosperity. What happened to you? You have been denied your salary, okay? You have been humiliated. And now, from a foreign country, a neighboring country, okay, President Kiir is bringing troops because he doesn't trust you because he wanted to be in power. So he owned this country. It's like, you know, he owned this country. What happened to you? Why are you not acting? Why are you asking a question? I know there is oppression. You cannot do anything. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble. But you have that power in your hand. He is a one man. Kiir is a one man. He's a one man. Let's say, you know, what we have been saying, that you don't even trust what we have been saying for a very long time. But you, with not getting your salary, okay, with no development, your kids are not going to school, but those who have money, those who are controlling the oil are the one. And now the Uganda defense forces are coming to South Sudan, and they are going to get paid like what happened in 2013. They are getting paid to protect Kir Mayardiit, to be in power. Are you hearing me? So what does that mean to you? What does that tell you, SSPDF? What does that tell you? This is not an anxiety, it's not a noise, what I'm saying here. Okay? This is your right. This is the right of the people. It's your right. And again, Museveni already has got incentive. He has got incentive from President Kiir. I don't know, for their own friendship, whatever, you know, because we are suspicious about the death of Dr. John Garang. We know this. We know. But he got the incentive. It is enough that actually, President Kiir restricted, you know, any development in the country simply because he wants South Sudan to be dependent on Uganda when it comes to food, commodities, and agricultural products. Simply because he wants to make Museveni happy. And the nation will be oppressed, like what's happening now. And that's exactly what happened. Because we have more agricultural land than Uganda. We have more. We have more. We can produce, we can actually farm, and we can feed all entire the continent of Africa. But President Kiir, he did not want that. It's a very simple thing. It's a simple thing to diversify the economy through the money that we are getting from the oil, so we can farm, our farmer can have power, and we can use our own pound, and then we don't have to struggle with the dollars that they are struggling. But because they created this kleptocracy, you know, and Uganda can be beneficial, Kenya can be beneficial, simply to back him up so he can be in power for life. You need to think about this as SPDF. You need to think about this, South Sudanese people. You need to think about this. And if you don't think about this would be the end. This is a threat to our existing of South Sudan. Because President Kiir actually is acting like a pharaoh. And I said this in numerous times, that actually doesn't care. He wants to be buried with this country. So whatever happened, it doesn't care. As long he looted enough money for his family and people around him. He have looted enough that actually if he's dead later, and then his family would survive. They can go anywhere. They can invest. The money that they have taken, they can invest. But who is going to suffer is you and your children and your children's children. But for them, they will not suffer because they have looted enough. And they will invest the money that they have looted, you know, for their children and their children's children. Then they will have no problem. And that's why we need to think. That's why you need to strategize. What can we do now? Because this man is showing no mercy, is showing no backing up, is showing just he wants to oppress you. He wants you to be under his shoes. This is what he has been doing for quite long time. And yet it will go and bribe people, and they come and say, oh, these people, they are anti the country. They are just anti South Sudan. No, no one loves South Sudan more than we do. Okay? Because we volunteer our time to come and sit and do a civic education to those who don't know their rights. That's love for the country. When you talk about the decency, when you talk about the justice, when you talk about prosperity for all, and people have to have happiness, creating opportunities for the citizen of the country, that's the real love for the country. We are not like those, who are collecting your taxes, taking your money and stay in a hotel, okay, and spending outside of the country. Interestingly, I used to say that the hotels that we have in Juba, they don't belong to foreigners. I said that a long time ago. Actually, they belong to those officials in South Sudan. But what they do, again, they are deceiving people of South Sudan. They bring a foreign national and hire that foreign national and managing that hotel. And people will think that actually that hotel belongs to blah, 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 Ethiopian, or blah, 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 Egyptian, or blah, 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 Lebanese. Okay? People will think that way. But that's not what it is. It belongs to them. But they don't want to look like they own this hotel, because people are going to ask, where you get this money? Okay? Where you get this money? Do you know why now some who did not know before, they start knowing that those businesses in Juba, especially hotels, belong to those kleptocracy individuals? Barnaba Bak, the former Minister of Finance, now he got fired, and President Kiir now hired a new finance minister. When he came in, he talked a lot, and he wanted to do like drastic measures. He wanted to create more. He wanted to find out why all this corruption in the country. What can he do to fix the economy? What can he do to fix the dollar rate to goes down? He talked about how people who are having their spouses in Kenya and Uganda and all this thing, how he can just force them to get shilling, because Uganda use shilling and Kenya use shilling. And many people say that, but you are not going to be able to do that, because there is a cartel. And this cartel, anything has to go through them. They are kleptocracy. Everything has to go through them. They are the one that will hire the minister. They are the one that will fire the minister. If you are not serving their interests, you'll be out. And we said this, and he's out. How many ministers of finance since 2005? We have nearly 17 ministers of finance. They come and go. They come and go. It was not their fault. It is fault of the presidency, President Salva Kir. But let me tell you how now people are figuring out that the hotels in Juba are not owned by foreigners. They are owned actually by South Sudanese. They have some, partners from outside, of foreigners. But try to tax the hotels, because the hotels are not taxed in South Sudan. He tried to tax the hotel. He tried to tax the businesses. He tried to talk about the visa, how foreign working in South Sudan, they can have, visa to stay. He tried to create really a system that actually, a system that can save people of South Sudan. But guess what? People had started, those who own the hotel that start complaining. Man, this guy, look what he's doing. Is against us. It's against us. It's against us. Because he wants people to produce, the document, to know about everything. He also, within the Ministry of Finance, he wants to know people working there, their qualification, their credential, so he can verify it through whatever you graduated from Makerere. Let's verify it. You graduated from, Cairo University. Let's verify it with Cairo University. Let's take that, your bachelor degree or master degree, whatever, and we can do a verification on our own. But people actually didn't like this, because there is a lot of fake thing in the country. Fake documents, fake everywhere. So this group actually did not like that. Plus, You remember I talked to you about how daughter of President Adut, she has a company, um, company who is really working with custom for she cleared, she cleared the goods that are coming to South Sudan through in Mombasa port in Kenya, and that actually got Kuala a problem last time when he asked why would the daughter of president do this, because now the money are not coming to the bank of South Sudan because she's just making clearance in Mombasa, and this is not supposed to be happening, and money is not supposed to be going to her company. It's okay for her to have a company to do clearance, but the money is supposed to be coming for the country, but the money was going to her private account. So now, again, back raise it in form of when the goods come to South Sudan, there is a transition fees, because the goods will come, of course, because the road go through where? They come from Mombasa, they go through Kenya, of course, Kenyan land. And then from Kenya, they have to go through Uganda as well, right? And then from Uganda, they will come to South Sudan. So they will get clearance from Mombasa. But when they get driver coming through Nairobi and all this Kenyan land, and also they have to pay fees. And then when they come to Uganda, because it's going through Ugandan land, they have to pay fees as well. And now when they reach normally the border of South Sudan, they have to pay fees. And also when they come, even before they get to Juba, there is big general set up something somewhere there, and then they have to pay fees. So the goods that are coming to South Sudan are being taxed everywhere, from the port, from Kenya, Uganda, and in South Sudan twice. So when they come to the market, of course, the business guy, he wants to get some profit. He's going to raise the price. And that's why you see people are suffering. So Bach said that, why all this thing? Since we are part of East Africa, right? We are part of East Africa community, right? And we deal with Kenyan a lot. Kenyan are benefiting from us a lot. All the money in the banks of Kenya. Kenyan are employed in South Sudan. Ugandans are employed in South Sudan. They are actually beneficiary of this country called South Sudan that we gain independence. They are the beneficiary actually. So he said, why? Since we have a good deal, you should not take all these fees. You should give us a break. Right? That legit. That make a lot of sense. But Museveni didn't like that. Museveni actually is the reason that actually Bach got fired. So Museveni didn't like that. Museveni said, hey, this is the Minister of Finance. This guy, too much. The money that's supposed to come to Uganda. That's what he did. Right? So Bach got fired. Bach got fired because of that. Because now he's talking about how this thing should not happen. Because people are not getting anything, and it's ruining our economy. Uganda is draining our money. They were in Uganda bank, and they have never been returned to South Sudan. But President Kir is always obsessed with Museveni. He is his advisor in everything. Okay. So President Kir, when Museveni talked to him about Bach is doing this, and you see that it's not serving his interest, and then he complained, and now Bach has to be removed. He's a good guy, very intelligent young man. And I said this last time. But Alena Ye actually was ahead of himself, and he said Bach is going to be fired because those cartels, they will fire Bach. Because they said, we brought you, and if you are not listening to us, we can fire you. We need our interest. They don't care about dying people. They don't care about suffering economy. They don't care about the countries having all this destruction. They do not. The only they care about their stomach. They are like hyenas. You know hyenas? Hyena, when it get to your luck, okay? It's called hazira. When hyena come to your ranch, and instead of killing one goat and he start eating it like what lion does. Because lion, when the animals are going, if he's hungry, he will kill one and eat that one, and that's set. If he's full, he's going to lay down and rest. It doesn't kill for nothing. It kills for to eat. But hyenas, if he's hungry, he will kill. He will eat, he get full, but he will kill more, kill more, kill more, kill more. And instead, he's storing them. Sometimes he will take them to the water. He will store them. He will store them. He will store them. This is what these cartels and kleptocracy individuals are doing in Juba. This is what they are doing. They had more than enough. They have stolen since 2005. They have a lot of money. Do you remember $4 billion? They have more than enough in their bank account. But no, that is not enough for them. They are behaving exactly like hyenas, because hyena kill more animals. If this guy, they have stolen $4 billion, we said, okay, Yahi, they were dry out. They were in bush and they did not have opportunity. It's okay. Now, it's never okay to be corrupt. But you know what? South Sudan said, okay, let them go away with it, $4 billion. But guess what? It became a recipe. So you allow that $4 billion to be stolen, and you allow them to have fake contract, and you allow them to do this. And they said, oh, this is good. And then start continuing this, and it never ends. This is what's happening. They introduce exactly what's happening in East Africa, Kenya, and Uganda, exactly to South Sudan. So, Museveni now, he appointed his son as a defense minister. Okay? And keep in mind, that dumb kid, this is the guy that say that, oh, President Kir Mayardiit is my commander. Don't mess with my commander. Otherwise, you'll be in trouble. So, actually, they own South Sudan. They think they own South Sudan because Kir, listen to Museveni, Kir is controlled by Museveni. Right? He is controlled by Museveni. This is how it has been. So nothing new, when he promoted Bolmel and Museveni promoted his son to defense minister, nothing new. We knew that this is the usual business that Salva Kiir is doing, because Salva Kiir doesn't want to build a strong institution in the country, doesn't want to build a strong army, a strong police, a strong institutions, ministries and all that. No. Because if these institutions are independent and strong, then they would be asking questions. They would be saying, why are you doing this? If the parliament is a strong and independent institution, and then they will subpoena all the ministers. They will subpoena even the president. But President Kiir, guess what? He can fire the parliament at any time, because this is an appointee parliament. And he told them before, I can fire all of you. I can fire anyone. That is why he does not want to bring strong institution in the country. It's not because he cannot do. It's not because he has no ability. There is an ability actually to do so. But no. Because if the strong institutions are built, and then there would be questioning. And then things are going to go straight. But they don't want things to go straight. They want things to go like this, like this, like a snake. Have you seen a snake sometimes go straight? Very rare. Very rare. You see? But this is what he wanted to do. So President Kiir wanted to rule for life. So I'm asking you, my SSPDF commanders, the generals, civil servants, judges, professors, intellectuals, okay, wounded here, what are you waiting for? It's not going to fix itself. There is no angels from heaven coming to save you. It's not going to happen. Right? It's you. It's you. It's you have to have that moral courage. You have to have that moral courage. It's morally we can do this. It's you to have moral obligations. It's you to have that moral obligation. This is my country. This is the country I fought for. These are our people. These are our children. They don't go to school here. A few are benefiting from this while we are suffering. It shouldn't be this way. We were fighting so we can as President, as our founding father said, Dr. John Garang Mademabio, that we use military power, for economic power rapidly, military power, economic power. Yeah, we fought so we can come and use our national resources for economic power to get this country going, to lift up our people so people can live with decency. That's what it is. So have you forgotten what you have been fighting for? I know you have been ignored. You have been thrown away. Okay? But imagine you fought for 22 years. And Salva Kiir is sitting in J1 and is corrupting everything. Not only that, to extend that, I said, President Kiir have tested. I said this. Have tested people of South Sudan. He will try this, and people are not doing anything. People are quiet. And then he will try this, and people are quiet. And then he said, you know what? I can do anything that I want to do. To extend that, he start bringing hawkers to J1. You hear the ladies that are fighting. Oh, you Nyandeng, you Achai, and you this and you this. You hear them fighting, right? You hear them fighting on social media. $1 million giving to that lady, $1 million give. Imagine $1 million giving to a hawker that President Kiir is going to spend just sometimes 30 minutes, 20 minutes, while their orphan children are hungry. No school for them, nothing. You know how much that $1 million, how much you can pay salaries, the SSPDF? How many? Can pay a lot of SSPDF salaries. And by paying salaries, they support their families, they support their children. And also, do you know how much people can feed? Do you know how many schools can that $1 million construct? Because the material is not that expensive there. How many? It's a lot. It's a lot. But because we do allow him to do what he wanted to do, and then that's why he continued to do anything that he wanted to do. Seriously. Yes, he will continue to do anything that he wanted to do. He can give $1 million to any girl. He can be to a hawker, to whatever, to mistress, you call it, So those marthographs have ruined this country. And it happened in your watch, and it happened in our watch. I'm doing my part. I'm saying this is what I can do. I'm campaigning. I'm doing civic education. But you have a role to play too. You do. Now, this reminds me the story of Nineveh. You know Nineveh in the Bible? I don't know, should I tell this story in Arabic or in English? Nineveh is a city in the Bible. I learned that story in Arabic actually. It's in Medina Nineveh. Ahl Nineveh. Nineveh, it's just like Juba. It was a city like Juba. It has a king. Juba doesn't have a king. We have the president, but it's like a king because everything is in hand in a way. It's even worse than a king of England, a king of the UK. Because in UK, the king has nothing to do with the government. There is a prime minister and there are ministers. They are taking care of the business of the, services delivering and all these things. And they are independent judicial. If you commit a crime, the judicial will deal with you. So back to the story of Nineveh. So what I wanted to say about the Juba, the South Sudan now is it's not like, it's more than a kingdom. Because president has more power than king of England, as I said. Seriously, because he can fire a minister, he can fire a university professor, he can fire a chancellor of the university. But in UK, they don't do that. There is a board at the university. You will be appointed through board. Okay. So the story of Nineveh in the Bible, Medina Nineveh in the Bible, it's like city like Juba, like this. It was very corrupt. And Bishop Santolaco has been talking always, has been talking about corruption, has been talking about mismanagement, has been talking about how those who were fighting yesterday, to liberate, to make this country good, turns against their people. Bishop Santolako always keeps saying that, please repent and do the right thing. But actually, it became a target of President Kir. It became a target of those in the government. They said that this guy actually doesn't like us. But it's Bishop Santolako, he like you, but he want you to be a good person because you become lost, Pentagons, Ibn Dal. He doesn't want you to get lost because there was a mission and vision. And now you are deviating. You already, out of the hook from the mission that we have been fighting for 22 years. Bishop Santolako said a lot. So Nineveh was a very corrupt city. And they have king, they have people, they have ministers, they have all these things. But they were so corrupt. They steal, they hide money in their houses. They were brutal, they kill people, they do a lot of all the kinds of things. They don't fear God. They don't fear God. People of Nineveh, Ahl Nineveh, they don't fear God at all. They were so brutal. And then God was not happy. God was so mad on them. And God wanted to punish them. But before God wanted to punish them, he said, I will send a messenger to them first. Ana Brasilum Rasul. I will send them a messenger first. And God did this. There was a decent man. His name is Jonah. Jonah, there is Yunan bil Arabi or bil Ibri. Jonah. Jonah was just, a regular person, but he's not a bad person. He's very good. And God actually wanted to use him to send him to Nineveh. Okay? To go and save people of Nineveh. So God has spoken to Johanna and said, Johanna, I want you to go to Nineveh. These people are so corrupt. They committed a lot of sins. They are so bad. They have no mercy. I want you to go and send a message. Tell them that God is so mad at you and God will destroy the city of Nineveh. But if you repent and you come back, then I can forgive you. See? That time, long time ago, God used to talk to people, closely, and still talk to us now through our prayers. And then Yonan, he started, thinking through. I said, oh man, God, why you want to put me in this situation? These people are so bad. If I go there, they may not listen to me. And instead of going to preach what God has told him, he chose to cross to the other side of the sea. So Nineveh on the right and the other side of the sea on the left. And instead of going to that direction, he went to opposite direction. He think maybe he can hide. He says, okay, man, God, just leave me alone. Nazil, I don't want to touch them because these people are bad. So what he did, if he saw people on the boat, they went to cross to other island, other side, and he jumped in on that boat. Okay. And he was going to cross with them. So God got frustrated. Why Jonah doesn't want to listen to him? So what God has done is send a storm, a big storm, okay, on the sea. And that storm is start shaking the boat and, yani awasif kida, too much. And then people on that boat, they start fearing. Everybody start praying. Oh God, please, we need your protection. Oh God, everybody's praying. But Joanna did not pray actually. He went and he was so fearful. And he went just at the end of the boat and sat there, like this, and stayed there. And he's so fearful too. He knows what he have done. He knows he did not listen to God. And everybody's praying. And he's not. And then one guy got up and he said, hey, you, Why are you not praying to your God? And all of us, we are praying to our God so we can save us from this crazy storm. The boat is likely to be sink and then we are going to die. Right? And he just come fearfully and he didn't say anything. And that man actually started talking to everybody and said, you know what? Somebody might have done something wrong. Somebody in this boat might have done something wrong. And that's why God actually wanted to punish us. Please, if you did something wrong, declare yourself. Tell us. If you did something wrong, please tell us. We need who did this something wrong here. So God is trying to punish us. So from that moment, Jonah raised his tiny voice, and he said, "It's me. Actually, it's me. God tried to send me to go to Nineveh, but I fear, and that's why I came." And that guy actually did not hesitate. He said, "Damn it!" He grabbed Jonah and boom, throw him on the sea. He threw Jonah on the sea. That would have been the end of Jonah, But fortunately, he was lucky. He was fearful and he was sad, calling God's name. Oh, God, save me, save me. He was in the water. And then while he's in the water, the whale, the whale, hoot, the whale came and swallowed him. The whale swallowed him. Now Joanna is inside Wood tummy, stomach. And he started praying there. It's how lucky he is. It was not digest. It was not digest like a food, in the whale's stomach. It was just in there, and he started praying, singing to God, blah, 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 all this and shaky. And it was safe, actually. It was breathing and it was good. So God actually tried to teach him a lesson. And then next day, the whale went and he spit him out of the shore. He spit him out, fishati, on the shore. And he got out, man. Oh, man. And then from that point, he got up. And God said, he heard voice from heaven again. Said, Joanna. And then he looked and he said, yes, 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 Lord, yes, God. And he said, why did you run away from me? And he said, I'm so sorry, God, I will not. I will listen now. I will listen. And then from that time, Joanna went to Nineveh, to the city of Nineveh, and met the king. And he started preaching. And he said, guess what? God is so mad at you. And if you are not acting, and if you are not repenting, and if you are not changing, God is going to destroy the city of Nineveh. He is going to destroy the city of Nineveh. Please. And then from that date, from that time, the people of Nineveh have changed. The king started, putting ash in his body, mud, yelbas shawalat, and, so it became more like to show, humbleness, to show that he's nothing. Because when you put ashes on your body, and that you mean that you are from mud and you will return to the mud. Okay. And everybody, those who were hiding money in their houses, they brought the money, they disputed to the poor, and more equality. People had started more generous, and God is forgiving them, and the city was not destroyed. Guess what? It may not happen in Juba, but look what's happening. Even the last couple of days, the last 2 weeks, how the temperature was so hot in Juba. Hatta the lizards. Because too hot. But the messengers, people of good faith, like Santo Laco has been talking to you. So for you, my brothers and sisters, the concerned citizens of South Sudan, wherever you are in the city, okay, you have that obligation to do the right thing. Those who are hiding money in their houses, those who are corrupt, those who are going to hotel, those who are just taking Gruj and orphan machine, Uganda machine, Kenya that is spent to do all these things. You know what? It's time for you to repent too, because now you are part of this sins. You are part of this corruption. You are part of this because you are entertaining those young intellectuals who are soliciting, power. Minister or Boguni Nai, director, but and you steal and you do all this thing. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. You don't want to be punished with those of Mayardiit, those who are bringing hackers to J1. We are Janin. Kids are dying from hunger. You can do right thing. Listen to the voice of the churches. Listen to the voice of Santa Laco. Listen. God is always speaking to you through others. It does. But if you don't want to do the right thing, that's going to be bad. Dr. King, you remember? The civil rights leaders in the United States of America. He was priest. Ukanabuna, Martin Luther King. He was priest. And he is the reason that I am in America. Because Americans, they were so bad. But there can be segregation. Black person has no space. Nobody like him. You go to restaurant, you sit in your own place. You cannot be served by a white person. Right? But Abuna there is Martin Luther King. He worked a lot. He did not enjoy the fruit of his movement because he died. He was killed, of course, in 1963. He was killed by white supremacists. Shot him. Okay? Lakin at the end of the day, al movement Lukanamolda, people benefit from it. All entire America, including the Kawajat, white, everyone. People are start coming, and there is equal opportunity. You can be high, you cannot be denied because it is all Aswad or it's all black or all this thing. You see? So anyone, any member of society have a role to play. So then at the Bonasanta Lakota, they have a role to play. They did. They are playing. And you have a role to play. You have a role to play. This country is more than enough for all of us. Just denounce, just reject. Reject the corruption. Reject the nepotism. Reject the regionalism. Reject the clanism. Reject all this ism. Reject them because we are one people. We are people with common purpose. That's why we carry arms together and we fought the common enemy. And that's why we have the country called the Republic of South Sudan. We did not do it. So someone there, the guy, the Matoko guy, Wewe of Museveni, to come and control us, to come and say, now, don't do this. Don't cultivate, don't farm. No, everything for me. We did not do that. We did it for our people. You did it for younger children. You did it for generation. You did it for an elder. You did it for them. And you did it for yourself. So reject all this thing. But above all, rise up. You have to rise up for your rights. No one is going to speak for your right. No one is going to do anything for your right. But all combined, if we all rise up with non-violent approach to the streets of Juba, kullana lo mashiyana kida tamshi jongarang muselim kullakum SSPDF mafzoni shil sila, okay? SSPDF civil servant guda shunu wa bunat kullu zati kenisa kullu yeji, Catholic church kullu munu skeptical injilia when rabana kois all of just go out and said, no, we reject this. This is not South Sudan that we fought for. This is not. All of us. And forget about the Dinka, then where the Chuluguda, Nyago, the Munu, the Bari, the Mundare, the Mboko. Forget about this. Because the existing of South Sudan under threat. We are under threat. Kir Mayardiit want to be buried with this great country, with this beautiful country. I know there are people there when I speak, said, oh, Jonkore Gadiamal is Aida, Jonkore Biamal is Aida. No, this is not his eye. This is not noise. What I'm doing here is not noise. It's simply because you have a selective hearing. It's simply because Jonkore is not talking about corruption. Joker is not about talking about the trick how to corrupt. That's why you don't want to hear it. That's why you think it's Isaac. Because you want to hear how to steal. You want to hear how Tamil project, but I didn't if you could I can get this. That's what you want to hear. But I cannot talk about that. No, that is corrupt. That's corruption. I can talk about the right thing. I'm not Isaac. I'm not interested in making Isaac. I'm not Majnun. I'm not crazy to make noise. But there is a real issue here. There is a real concern that I have to be concerned as a concerned citizen. I have to be concerned because I love the country and I care. If I don't concern about my brothers and sisters, my countrymen, my countrywomen, then what else I can be concerned of? If I'm not concerned about the coming generation, my children and my children's children generation, and then what else I can be concerned of? No, they are the real thing that I can be concerned. And this is what the real man can do. You can be concerned about people. You can be concerned. You have to have that empathy. I have to have empathy for them. Right? We must fight nonviolence movement. It's easy. Look how we are humiliated. How many South Sudanese in Kenya and Uganda and all this thing? Are they allowed to work there? No, we are not allowed to work. And we said we are part of East African community. You are not allowed to work. You are not allowed to open business in Kenya. You are not allowed to open business in Uganda. You are not. And Kenyan can work in South Sudan. They can work in everything. They can braid women's hair. Okay, they can do manicure. They can work. They can do anything. Uganda the same. But can you do that in Kenya? Can you do that in Uganda? You can. You are not allowed. You are forbidden because you are a foreign national. Where the sense of sovereignty now? We don't have a sovereignty. Listen, when we were part of Sudan, there is no foreign national, whether it's Egyptian or from any other country, will come to Sudan, go to capital Khartoum, and open a shop. No. No. This called a small business. This is a small business. When you open a shop, this is a small business. And a small business, that's the right of the citizen of the country. Small business. If there is a big business, if there are investors, yes, mustasmar ajnabi, you can come and do big business. You do big factory, people will work in your factory. That's fine. Like Dow, the Korean, textile, Nasij. Dow, Nasij Sudani, but they sold it to textile, to Korean. That's a big, huge investment in Sudan. I remember in the 90s, my brother used to work there, and they were making good money. That the foreign investor came to Sudan and invest, that's fine. But for you to allow those Wewe, okay, those Wewe, those Darfurian, to come and make and open shops, a small shop, a small business that actually Majok unas Kwaje unas Kenyi, they are supposed to have that priority to open those shops. For you to allow them, Department of Commerce or Wazara Tijara, Minister of Commerce, of course the policy Jamin J1, because everything is all about one man show. To allow that alone tell that actually there is no country. That tell you are not responsible. Because this is small business are for the local. Again, I gave you the example of Sudan when we were in one Sudan. Chinese, they will come to Sudan and they want to go to the street and say, Vicks, 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 Vicks. The Vicks, the thing that you put in your nose when you have a cold and all this thing. Kasha, I remember. Kasha, they will come and round them up. You are not here. You are coming for construction. Because the Chinese, they were coming for construction, working on the oil and pipeline. You are not coming to go to the street in Khartoum and sell Vicks. No. They got arrested. I saw them, my own eyes. They got arrested. From that time, those Chinese, they quit. They quit selling the clothes. They go there into the market. They want to sell clothes too. These are the local thing. But look in Juba, they are small businesses, Kenyan, Ugandan, Ethiopian, Eritrean. You go to Juba, the best bars are Ethiopian. I have nothing against Ethiopia. I love Ethiopian actually, because this is the country that stood with us. Okay, but there is a boundaries too. The best bars in Juba are Ethiopian. You go, these are supposed to be owned by the local, and people of South Sudan are the consumer. Yeah, we become like a consuming country only because of this Mayardiit. My brothers and sisters, Slava Kir Mayardiit. It has no mercy whatsoever. I don't know why you don't see it. Why you don't see it? It has no mercy to the people of South Sudan. Yani want this country to the ground. He doesn't care. He just want to be in power until he died. See, and then our people, they don't say, oh, Randan Dida, Zul Kabir Batana. You know, Randan Dida, Zul Kabir Batako, Zul Kabir Batana. Zul Kabir Laman Huwa Al Kabir. One Kabir is worried about Sagir. One Kabir is worried about the younger and the smaller. That Kabir can be respected, it can be recognized, it can be distinguished. Kabir can be distinguished that way. But Kabir that want to, burn the green and the dry, what kind of Kabir is that? What kind of elder is that? No, that's not a good elder. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Trust me, kalamana gana gul denas gayin gul gala denas ta izaj. Denas the social media. Denas ta izaj. Denas ta Facebook. Denas ta izaj. You remember. You remember this. You say, they were telling the truth. We're telling the truth. We care because we belong. We belong to South Sudan. And that's why we care. So, no surprise. With SSPDF, with the Ugandan Defense Forces brought to South Sudan to protect Kir presidency, because Kir knows he has ruined the nation, he has corrupted, he has done a lot. But now people of South Sudan that started speaking, even the singer, they start singing, Even Lady Kola, I like the new song actually. She talk about Sankara and Mafi Akil Nastaban, at the Papa Lee, Papa Lee rapper. He start talk. A lot of people they start noticing. They start noticing. They start noticing. And him too, he knows. He's so fearful, this guy. He fear when you see something, always into Aglia Amnia, security mindset. It will plan ahead. You see, that's why he's renting foreign plane always, Rwanda Air, Kenya Airways, Ethiopian Airways. That's what it is. He has that mindset. He doesn't want to die. Of course, nobody want to die. But he doesn't want to die because of power. Because you want to keep power. So, my dear brothers, I ask you the one watching here, do you know that the least thing you can do is to share this live episode? Share it on Facebook, share it on YouTube. That's what you can do. Because it are nas betana, kalam al kwaiza, kalam yani civic education da, on economy, on security, on stability, they don't even. But if I was talking if I was talking something stupid like nas gay kalam da, can be shuvina hundreds and 1,000 people. Lakin kalam al kwaiza ya batalana min al jarjal. Please share it. I want you to share. Don't be shy. I know some people, when they talk to people in Juba, and sometimes when they say, oh, well, Jonko, when they mention my name, they say, oh, you Chagat, to get the rebel. Am I a rebel? Really? I'm not a rebel. I don't carry a gun. Okay? I did not rebel. I'm telling the truth. I'm campaigning for decency. I want my country to move. I want right of citizen. This is what I'm doing. So you please share. Share, concerned citizen. Share, a patriot, South Sudanese. Share. You Matograph too. Share it. If you want to laugh on me, share it to another Matograph. Say, oh, look at this guy, he's making noise. Like what you guys say always, you know. Share it. Share it. Share it. عشان المسج ده يمشي. عشان المسج ده يمشي. So, my brothers, Kirgal Deram election, executive election. I never heard something called executive election. Election is election. Election always start with member of parliament. But there is no way you can do election, just only you do election. So IO, please stay firm. Al-Ahzab Atane, other political parties, Taban, he came up with something because they want to be obstacle to other political parties. And they said, oh, if you want to register, you have to pay $50,000 for the party to be registered. Just because they know these political parties, they don't have money. They don't have money because SPLM is the one that have money because they are looting. And they are not funding because Al-Maruf, for election, the country will allocate fund to political parties. But they don't want to do that. They will not do that. They don't want to do that. Kir, even though he wanted to do a sham election, he's not even trusting that sham election because South Sudan is even the one that will conduct that sham election. They are not happy. They can do other way. They can put thing here and they said, you know what, get the hell out of here. They can do it right. And that's why he wanted to make sure it's corrupt maximum. It's corrupt maximum. That's why he want to do executive. So he's the one that can give himself legitimacy. And then there is no legitimacy to National Legislative Assembly. Into Kulakum, Mafi election lekum, yalla get the hell out here. And then what he's going to do is he going to appoint the parliament again so he can control that parliament? Because if this parliament are elected, and then he will have no right to fire them. That's why he said, oh, we are going to do just only executive election and no parliament. Because the parliament that we have now, Kir enjoy this parliament, they cannot subpoena anybody. They cannot subpoena any minister because they are appointee. Those members of parliament, they are appointed by him. And if you disagree with him, it will remove you. You hear that from presidential decrees always, right? Removing and appointing, removing and appointing. See, I believe what the Wenakot said last time. We are mentally incapacitated. And that's why things are going wrong in the country and nobody's even standing. Even the oldest person in South Sudan cannot speak. The oldest one, the one that maybe will die on the next season, he's not saying anything. He's not. If you are 95 or 85, okay, what are you fearing? Let's say young people are fearing because they still have a long life ahead of them. You can be a hero too. You can go there to save the younger generation and say, hey, let's go out. And they can go, after you. Like I said, churches, okay? Evangelical churches, Catholic, Scofia, all this, okay? Judges, SSPDF, civil servant, okay? This is the time for you all to come out. Come out. Go to John Garang Museum. Say, hey, enough is enough. You did not implement peace agreement. You did not want to do anything. You don't have political will. You introduced grand corruption. Our people are dying. You created division. Leave us alone. We will figure it out. We, the people of South Sudan, will figure it out. This is the only thing that you need to do. But Santolako, you have done a good job. Continue. And God still sending messengers to the city of Nineveh, the city of Juba, so that city can be safe. Now the Dusugurushi viewed them, they need to take them out. Okay? Please, we did not fight so Uganda can be dividends. Citizen of Uganda can be dividend of our fight. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Again, please go ahead and share this episode. Share it. Yeah, Nazmatograph. Share it, please. I want you to share this. All right. Thank you and have a good night. I will leave you with a $10. I see you watching. This is a good song for our late great singer, Karding Makir. This is a song. But this young actor actually is doing something good. Thank you.
Ainan manjemuk juara gol. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko enya na bana. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko enya na mar. Wede manya jagamba. Wede unya chapingan. Wede manya jagamba. Kachiunya lela bawengba. Chiunya lela bawengba. Kachiunya lela bawengba. Kachiunya lela bawengba.
Thank you.
And the word never quit ban. And the word never quit ban. But you love and the word never quit ban. And the word never quit ban. But you love. Ainan jamuk juara gol. Ainan menjemuk juara gol. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko enya na bana. Ein kaya tijin na tijoren ko enya na mar. Wede manya chagama, wede unya chapingen, wede manya chagama, kachi unya lelabe wengba, chi unya lelabe wengba, kachi unya lelabe wengba, kachi unya lelabe wengba.
Tomorrow as well.